All right, so it looks like we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube as well. Hey everyone, welcome to today's today's discussion, where we are going to talk about our next workshop that I'm doing with my friend Marla, who is here with me. But before that, let's quickly go live on Instagram as well, so that we'll be streaming on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. So, in order to go live on Instagram, I'm just going to make sure. Okay, so we're live on Insta. Hey everyone, hey Instagram. If you can see this stream right here, let me know. We're trying to connect on Instagram as well. Okay, so I see the mystical matchmaker, and I'm just going to, what am I going to do? Go live with. Okay.
And then I turned off the sound on my phone.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You accept
Yeah,
it?
that sounds good. Sounds good. Hey everyone. Welcome Instagram, welcome Facebook, and welcome YouTube as well. So I'm able to hear my voice.
Your feedback.
Yeah. So and the reason why I'm able to hear my voice is because I think it's playing through your speaker.
That's good. Hey everyone.
So if you can
welcome Instagram.
Is there a way to wear a headset or a headphone?
And
That'll eliminate
as well.
So I'm able to hear my voice.
There.
Can you hear me now?
How's that?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sounds good. Okay. Perfect. These tech issues come out of nowhere, but in usual cases, we're able to eliminate them.
Oops.
I'm able to hear my voice.
Yeah, it's.
This happens when you have multiple devices that you're connecting to.
Yeah, I'm turning off my sound.
Okay.
How do I turn it all the way off?
I mean, you'll need to hear me from one of these devices, so either on Instagram or Facebook, right?
I'm on Facebook, right? This one.
Okay.
Okay. How's that?
I can still hear myself on Instagram.
Okay, you guys, hang on.
Yeah. We're gonna resolve this, but we have a big announcement to make, and that's why we are.
I can't get it all the way off. My sound on Instagram off all the way. It's almost.
Yeah, the sound is coming from your laptop. So if you wear a headset on your laptop or a earphone, it's gonna eliminate it completely.
Oh right, where's my headset? Right here.
Yeah, these are
okay, you guys.
Just small hiccups that we face from time to time, but we're going to resolve this because we've got a major announcement.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. How's that?
Yeah, that is way better.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Hey everyone, can you hear us? Can you see us? Can you notice this live stream that's happening on multiple platforms?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, Sylvia. I see Sylvia. I see Inhale, Exhale Coaching. So we have an amazing workshop that is going on right now, or that is planned. We've planned the workshop to happen on March 13th at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. And in today's discussion, this chat, what we are having right now, we are going to discuss the what and the why and the how, right? So firstly, welcome Marla to this conversation.
Thanks, AJ. So excited to be here. Isn't our workshop at 5? Is it 5 or 6?
I don't know. I saw on your Facebook post.
I think I made a mistake and put 6. Okay. I think it's 5. I'm going to change that, you guys. Okay. But anyway, just join us. So yeah, AJ and I decided to pair up. We love doing things together. He is the master of breath work, clearing out blocks and emotions and anger and frustration, bringing in new energy. And he's got that East Indian, vibe, all those the magic of those. Modalities, which are so powerful. And then I'm a matchmaker and transformational spiritual life coach, dealing with a lot of singles who want to find their soulmate. And I found that boundaries are something that's needed, and boundaries are something that's between ourselves, between me and me. It's not something that we have expect somebody else to hold and get upset about. So once we get clear with our own boundaries of what we will and will not accept, what we will and will not tolerate, what we want in our life, that and then hold those boundaries with ourselves, that's when everything transforms and we can find a great partner or step into that career that we want or anything. And so when I started working with boundaries a couple of years ago, I found that so much opened up for me. I realized where I really had leaky boundaries, and I was really a people pleaser, a doormat. It was hard for me to say no to people, and being an empath, a sensitive person, it was always a challenge for me. One example was, I remember in my 20s, I I was an actor in Hollywood, and I was down on Santa Monica Boulevard one day, and this Spanish guy was in town, and came up to me, and he says, I'm trying to get to such and such a place. Do you know where that is? Can you point me in the right direction? And I was such a people pleaser that I didn't just tell him or say, I don't know. I actually got on the bus with him and took him an hour, to where he was going, and then came back. Like I would feel like I had to save everybody. I was, would never say no to anything. And so I've noticed, later on, the years have gone by, and it didn't work out too well. So I became certified as a life coach specializing in boundaries. And it's based on this book, Setting Boundaries Will Set You Free, by my coach, Nancy Levin. And I have a 3-month program we go through boundaries, codependency, shadow work, underlying commitments. It's really powerful. So I'm excited in the workshop, to share some of these ideas and how you can use boundaries in your life.
Awesome. So, people who are joining in right now on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, if this resonates with you, let us know, right? Boundaries is a very important topic, and something that's even more relevant today, because we are still sort of in the pandemic, and we are having this opportunity to spend more time at home. And that's when you really need to understand what boundaries are, how you can set boundaries, how you can communicate these boundaries. Because, like Marla puts it, it's like a short discomfort for long term happiness, right? You need to have
Yes,
those,
short-term discomfort. Yes, exactly. And our
right?
workshop is at 5 o'clock. You guys, it's at 5 o'clock Pacific. So
Okay.
I'm changing that.
5 p.m. Pacific. Yeah. So, also,
But
really
yeah,
quickly, let me address the elephant in the room,
okay.
which is that I have shaved my head. I know somebody said, AJ, I love the new do. But yeah, so the reason for this is because it is my practice of spiritual detachment. Um, Marla, you've
Where'd
left
I
the live.
go? Am I back? How do
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
no, no.
in?
You gotta join the live stream once again, because I don't want to have a conversation with myself. But and the reason why I shaved my head off is because of a spiritual practice of realizing, right, that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions, I'm not my body, I'm not my hair. And I found myself like looking in the mirror, constantly thinking of how people perceive me and this and that, and I was having a little hair fall as well. So I thought, why not completely share it off for a new experience, for a new outlook, for a new perspective, so I can focus on something that's more deeper, my essential me, and hopefully, get some learnings along the way, right? So that is the reason why I have, shaved my head. But also, this workshop is a lot about that, right? It's a lot about understanding who you truly are, right? And and what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. And part of experiencing that true self-care, that nourishment, that happiness within is to set these boundaries. And you can read a book, you can watch a YouTube video. Sometimes it takes somebody who can guide you through the process of setting boundaries, which is Marla.
Yes, yeah, and I'm going to share, how to become a boundary badass. So, for example, if you are somebody that, you know, always let somebody else pick the restaurants, saying you're fine, whatever the choice is, what everybody else wants, or maybe you'll tell yourself, I'm going to start an exercise program, but then you give it up only moments later. Maybe you buy things for other people, never yourself, or maybe you stay quiet, just don't, so you don't upset somebody else, or you say yes when you mean no over and over. So there's actually an art to setting boundaries that you can apply to your life and learn it quickly. And I'm going to be teaching that formula of having tough conversations and getting comfortable with that short-term discomfort over the long-term resentment. And it's taking responsibility for upholding your own boundaries instead of expecting everyone else to. Because I always hear people saying, they crossed my boundary, I had the boundary, and he crossed it. But I call it the art of setting boundaries. It's having those tough boundary badassery talks. It happens when you can learn to share your needs clearly without guilt or explanation, because when we're avoiding external conflict, we're creating more internal conflict. I remember so many times when let's say I decide I can't, somebody asked me to do something. Oh, can you do this on Saturday? And then instead of just saying, thank you for the offer, I'm not available, a lot of, especially women, will go into long explanations on why they can't do it. They're worried they're going to hurt somebody's feelings. And instead of just being really clean with it, and it just feels so great. And one of the fundamentals of boundary badassery is that before you can express your needs with others, you must be willing to tell yourself the truth and take a good hard look at where you're at and where you're setting boundaries and where you're not. And there's 3 little nuggets that I love. So if you can get this, it's nobody else's job to maintain or respect your boundaries.
Mhm.
And this one I love, because we women are always, and empaths, we want to take responsibility for other people's experience or feelings. Someone else's response to our truth is not our responsibility. And we have to find our no in order to free our yes. So those are a couple things. And I'm going to
Mhm.
be leading us through some actual conversations, examples in the workshop of how to do that. Because sometimes it's just we don't know what to say.
Mhm. Yeah, so everyone, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, if what Marla is sharing with you, if it resonates with you, right, let us know, give us a comment, say yes, say whatever you feel like, because I think that this is an important conversation and an important workshop to go through, because you will have then, firstly, the conversations that you need to have, but also how you need to have them in a way that does not disrupt your relationships, right? So it's not just about what to say, but how to say it. And obviously, when you go through this experience, there'll be a lot of emotions, right? That'll bubble to the surface that you will have to potentially deal with. Which is why this is not just a boundaries workshop. This is a boundaries and breathwork workshop,
Mhm.
right? So once Marla guides us through those conversations and how to realize what our boundaries are and maybe how to set them and what conversations to have, then we're going to have a 1 hour and 15-minute breathwork uh, awakening journey. And we will go through various techniques and methods to dissolve the negative emotions, dissolve the oops, I'm able to hear myself. So um, maybe it's because of the echo, but we'll be working through the process of dissolving our emotions, dissolving our negative memories, our maybe traumas as well, and going through that, but replacing them with empowering feelings of gratitude, happiness, joy, and a vision for our lives. All of that through an awakening journey of the breath.
I'm so excited for that, AJ, because I've got some stuff I need to breathe out as well. It's going to be powerful. Yeah, and go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say that this is definitely going to be powerful because we're going to not just influence and have an effect on our body, but we're going to, activate dormant parts of our brain as well, which is really, really fascinating. And we will purify our blood, purify our nervous system. And when you have a whole body effect like that, you get a different sort of clarity and a different sort of energy all over. I mean, I could talk about it for 1 hour, but only when you experience it can you feel it and know it.
Right, and you don't need to do anything special. Just wear something comfortable, and we're going to be sitting, right, AJ? Or are we going to be getting up, or what are we going to be
Um,
doing?
it's going to be sitting, but before that, we'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes in free flow dancing. So we're gonna, move about so that we can get our prana, our chi, our life force to move around. Because like Tony Robbins says, if you need to change what your thoughts are, you need to change how you're holding your body. Once you move your body, automatically your emotions have an influence, and your thoughts as well begin to shift. It's much more easier than trying to change your thoughts directly.
Okay, great. And if you want to join us, just send us a private message, a DM on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll send you the link to join. It's only $12, you guys. It's going to be so amazing. So we really hope you'll take advantage of it Saturday, March 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific on Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. So the ticket price is $15, but the early bird price, we've set aside some tickets for people
Yeah.
who like to join us early and have decided that they, want to work on their boundaries and want to partake in this breathwork experience. For them, it's $12 on YouTube and Facebook. It might be a bit tricky, so just send an email. Marla, what's your email
It's
address?
Marla Martenson at mac.com. It's just my name at Mac, MAC dot
Okay, so
com.
Marla
Yeah.
Martenson at mac.com, or
Uh-huh.
you can email me aj at my7chakras.com and just say that you want to partake in this workshop. I'll send you the
Yeah.
link. And on Instagram, it's simple. You can just DM Marla and we can set this up.
Follow me on the Mystical Matchmaker on Instagram, and I've got a flyer up there too on my wall that you can see. Yeah. All
Awesome.
right.
Does
It's going to
anyone
be
have any
fun.
questions? Because sometimes people have questions about the workshops that we do. But if you have any questions, add a link in, not add a link, add a comment below. Don't add a link. You can add a link if you want, but add a comment below and tell us what questions you have. So, just to summarize, there's a workshop that's happening. The workshop is happening on March 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. The name of the workshop is Boundaries and Breathwork because in our discussions, we realized that boundaries and breathwork go hand in hand. All right, so the discussion of having these tough conversations is very important, but sometimes there's a lot of emotions that's come to the top, and what can help really, calm them down and hopefully dissolve them is a wonderful practice of breathwork journeys where we're going to use some peak performance brain entrainment music. We're going to use some ancient pranayama techniques. We're going to use, and we're going to breathe in beats collectively in a group. And that's a different experience altogether. Magic happens when you come together and start breathing. So that's what's going to happen. It's 2 hour workshop. And then maybe we have some time for Q&A if people have some questions.
Yes, and if to get you started, if you go to my website, marlamartenson.com, it's MarlaMartenson.com. If you go to my coaching page for boundaries, there's going to be a pop-up and you can put your email in, and I have a beautiful guided meditation for boundaries. So that will embed that. It's a 10-minute guided meditation to put in your subconscious so you'll be able to set effective boundaries easily and effortlessly. So you could start listening to that before the workshop, or even if you're not going to join the workshop, go get that free meditation for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I see somebody say yes, but I'm not sure what they said yes to. So
Yes, they're
if
saying
you have,
yes.
yes, so if you have any questions, let us know. We are here to answer any questions that you might have. As you can imagine, boundaries are very important to set in everyday life. And I'm looking forward to learning what Marla has to share so that I can set my own boundaries in my life and everyone can use and partake in a breathwork session. I do host
Yes.
weekly men's group sessions, and I hosted one yesterday. And you can't imagine that a lot of people are going through burnout, stress,
Wow.
anxiety, depression, trauma, challenges. Right? It's part of everyday life, and it happens with men as well as with women. And we all have our own versions of problem that we're going through. But the good thing is that breathwork will help you calm what is called the default mode network of your brain, the part of your brain that's always comparing yourself with the others, the part of your brain that's always comparing yourself with 2 years back, 1 year back, maybe something that might or might not happen in the future, keeping you anxious, keeping you stressed out. So the thing that breathwork does, it calms this default mode network so that you can open up to synchronicity, open up to joy, and experience the more, uh, you know, fundamental aspects of life, which is true love and happiness. So somebody says, are the men's groups remote? Um, I know that you're on our Facebook group, but I'm not able to see your name below. Yes, the men's group is remote. It's on Zoom. It's actually a Vancouver group. So if you're in Vancouver, that'll be ideal because then when we do have in-person events, we can go to lakes, we can go to mountains for treks. That's the whole idea. I wanted to connect with men in Vancouver. But if you need support and if you are remote, then we are happy to join you. We have one of my friends from India joining in at the moment. So it can be remote as well.
I love it, AJ. I love that you're doing that for men. Is Maud? I asked about the. Oh, it's Maud. I
Smart.
asked
Okay.
about the men's group.
Yeah. So, Mark, to answer your question, people from outside of Vancouver are welcome as well. We just want conscious men who are open to expressing their challenges in an authentic manner without worrying about what society thinks of them or without worrying about any judgment that might come through it. It's a process. So I've been trained in men's circle training. It's not something that you just start. There are boundaries also, right? There are boundaries, there are standards,
Yeah.
what we can or cannot do, and we go through all of that before the group. It's completely private, so whatever is shared inside, right? Just like when you go to Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in a men's group stays in the men's group. So it's an amazing, right, very therapeutic experience for men. I mean, the good thing about women is women, I think, find it easier to sort of get together, right? There's a lot of sisterhoods, a lot of support, mentorship that goes on with women, but with men, it becomes a bit more tricky,
I
right? And
love it.
that's
I
why
love it,
we
AJ. I love it.
so that's why we need men's groups around the world and more men to partake in this experience so that we can rise to the next level. But yeah, I'm really happy
Thank you.
with this workshop. And Marla, for those of you who know, is sort of my. Um, can we say that? I mean, are
Yes,
you
go
okay?
ahead. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Okay. So she's sort of like my mushroom mentor, so to speak. And the thing about this is, I'm really going down the rabbit hole with learning about mushroom and psilocybin and microdosing and all of it. These things have happened, historically in Greece, in India, and all parts of the world where people were using these plant medicines to expand their mind, calm anxiety, depression. And through our conversations, Marla told me that she's had these experiences multiple times,
Yeah,
and you need to reach out sometimes, right? When somebody has had the experience
of
and
course.
you're also
Yeah,
going through the same experience, and you'd like to ask questions and
yeah.
and say how to do it and what did you take care of. So she is my
I've
mother,
done
my
11 plant medicine journeys with psilocybin mushrooms, and it's been all life changing. Life change,
yeah,
best thing I've ever done. But you want to do it safely with someone, a guide. Hope don't just try to go and take some mushrooms. I'm not telling. We're not telling anybody else to do it. We're just saying that it's changed our lives, and you can look into it for yourself. But
yeah.
and AJ, did you do it? Can you share anything? Did you? I think you already did it, right?
No, so the thing is that I was waiting for a ceremony to take place. I've connected with a bunch of people, just finding the right fit, and
Yeah.
I think there was some schedule change in between. And because I was waiting so long, I said, I can't wait so long. So what
Right.
I have started doing is sort of microdosing small amounts. And what a microdose is basically understanding how much mushroom you would take for a like a normal dose, and taking like 1/10 of it. And the goal of that is not to have an experience, but from what I understand is the goal of a microdose, a very small amount, so that your inhibitions lower slightly. You're having those influences in your brain, but then especially for things like creative writing, right,
Creativity.
exploring, right, creativity,
Yeah.
having amazing conversations. It's great. So I had my first session last week. I got chocolates, right? So each
Okay.
chocolate is like 100 milligrams, and I had like three chocolates. And I remember it was a beautiful sunny morning. Maybe it was circumstance or coincidence,
Uh-huh.
but it was a beautiful sunny morning. I was feeling my appetite was at an all-time high, so I made two sandwiches with some nice, pickles and some cheese, and I
Mm.
enjoyed that breakfast. But in retrospect, I think I should not have had the breakfast and maybe prolonged, right, on an empty
Yeah.
stomach and see,
Mhm.
see what came out of it. But today I'm going to do it actually. So
Yeah, the microdosing, the idea is not to have a psychedelic experience at all, but you will
yeah,
notice some. I haven't microdosed. I've only done heroes journeys, just gone all the way. But I would like
yeah,
to. I would like to do that, like for a month, 3 times a week. And so I will. I'm probably going to do that this summer to start some microdosing. And
yeah.
so I'm a writer. I'm an author. And you guys check out my latest memoir, The Magic Seeker. It's available on Amazon. The Magic Seeker. It's so magical, and I chronicle my spiritual awakening, goes on some deep dives. It's funny, and I do share one of my mushroom journeys in the book.
Yeah, and the interesting part is what happened. They've done a research. Done some studies where they compared people who consumed mushrooms with those who did a 22-minute soma breathwork experience,
Mhm.
the breathwork that I'm trained in. And what they found out is that the same parts of the brain were affected or
Mm,
influenced, not affected, influenced
yeah.
in a mushroom journey and breathwork, right? So you're essentially what you're doing is you're calming the default mode network of your brain, and you're creating different neural pathways that connect different parts of your brain,
Mhm.
right? Uh, if you're used to going from one location to the other in your brain, right, the same path, it kind of makes sense, right? You do the same thing, you get the same results. But what happens in a journey, by the way, I've not gone through that whole heroic
Mhm.
journey,
Mhm.
but what happens then is that your brain goes through a reset, and you're connecting different parts of your brain. And Marla, have
Yeah,
you heard
you.
about? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say you also actually go into another dimension, speak through your pineal gland, through the third eye, and it
Mm,
resets your also nervous system.
yeah,
So I did a lot of. My legs would just be going like this, like for
yeah,
20 minutes or whatever, and different
yeah,
things, and you're doing different things and sounds. I would just be making these sounds like an opera singer, like for an hour, like just and my throat would never be sore. What it was doing was it was recalibrating my chakra system and my throat chakra, opening it up, and it was
yeah,
just make. And you don't even decide to do it. You don't decide to open your mouth and start going. It just happens. And then after you do a certain amount, you just start clear. Once you've cleared that stuff and gone through past lives and stuff, then you guys, then the extraterrestrial comes in, the Pleiadians, the star family comes in, starts channeling through you, the fairy realm. And see,
yeah,
they start talking through my hand. I start doing the light language. They start coming
yeah,
in now when I'm talking about it. So it's so cool. It's a
yeah,
lot of people might think that is outrageous, but yes, the nervous system, Marla, so important. Thanks for posting the name of my book, The Magic Seeker. Thanks.
yeah. And
Yes.
from what I've heard, also, like, you get the experience that you need based on what the universe needs
Yes,
to
you
show
don't
you.
choose it. That's
You
right.
don't choose it,
Yeah.
right? Because yesterday I was speaking to my friend, and she said she had the heroic journey, but she didn't
Yeah.
have any of the psychedelic,
Uh-huh.
experience.
Right, right.
But what she felt was really happy, and she felt like dancing. If you
Okay.
have something and you just feel like dancing, isn't that a win for somebody who is maybe going through a lot of depression or anxiousness?
It's
It's called,
great. I had lots of
right?
crying and crying
Oh,
and
right.
crying
Yeah.
and heart wrenching, but it was releasing old grief, old
Yeah.
stuff from years back, even from
Yeah.
childhood or before.
Yeah.
So I never had just the happy, let me just dance. It
Yeah.
was always really tough. And then
Yeah.
part of maybe the second half is really like,
No,
So,
exactly. And I'm sure, you've had so many journeys that it
mhm.
might be in stages. And I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to
I can't
that as
wait. I
well.
can't wait for you to.
Yeah.
Too bad we're not in the same city. We could do one.
Yeah.
I
I
first
know. It's too bad.
I first
Yeah.
connected with the angelic realm of Orion, totally unexpected and out of nowhere, and the channeling came with a total, complete sense of freedom and being held by the universe. I know, isn't that great? When the star off planet guides off, that's what they call themselves when they came through. We are off planet guides. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so
Right.
great.
Is it still mod? So if you're responding from our Facebook group, if you can just put your name against it, for some reason we're just able to
It's
see
not showing
Facebook.
the names. Yeah,
Yeah,
replying to
it's not showing
Facebook
the name.
user. Love hearing similar awakenings. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And so, Marla, have you heard about the Eleusinian Mysteries?
No, what's
Oh,
that?
right. So that's the main thing because so Eleusis is a city in Greece, and it is 18 kilometers from Athens. So if you see Greece, most of the philosophers, right, the artists, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Hippocrates, all of these people went through a group experience that is
Mm,
called the Eleusinian Mysteries. That was a ritual, a tradition that was open to all citizens of Greece, right? And this happened for 2,000 years. So this is
wow.
not some 10-year thing. It was a 2,000
Yeah.
years. They would have these rituals. Everyone was invited, including slaves and people from outside the country, women,
Mm,
men, all of them. But the only thing is, once you experience it, you're not allowed to tell anyone ever,
mm,
right?
mm, mhm,
And what would happen there, we only knew know through people who probably shared the secret. We don't know a whole lot, but it was a tradition where they would walk in procession from Athens to Greece, sorry, Athens to Eleusis, and they would go inside a dark chamber, spend a couple of
wow.
days there.
Yeah.
Then they would go into the sacred temple, which could house up to 1,000 people. Then there was like a mystical fire that was awakened at the center, and they would consume
Mhm.
some kind of psychedelic substance. And a lot of people are saying it's ergot. So ergot is, do you know about ergot? Ergot is when the barley becomes bad. So
Okay.
ergot is the fundamental substance from which LSD is created, right? So LSD is a much more concentrated version of ergot. So they
Mhm.
used to have some kind of psychedelic experience, and according to the scripts, it gave them an experience of multiple lives, or the assurance that this is not the only life there is.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
It does. It does because the guides you're connecting with other realms and other beings, and the guides are coming in, and you hear. And it's interesting. Sometimes you can hear them, or you just
mm,
know. And so
yeah.
you absolutely know. And there are so many other dimensions all around us right now, and everything's teeming with energy and with life. It's just everybody's not in a physical meat suit body like we are, and we're just very dense down here, so we can't access it. But once we are taking these substances, we are able through the pineal gland to go through those into those other dimensions, and
Oh,
that's the best
absolutely.
thing. Yeah, yeah. What do you have there? A rose quartz pyramid?
Yeah, it's a rose quartz pyramid. But my good friend McNeish, he's actually a good friend of mine. He owns a crystal store here in Vancouver, and he has these amazing crystals that he features.
Mm,
He imports them from Brazil. But I've done a few breathwork workshops at his place, and it's magical.
mhm.
But just imagine doing a breathwork workshop in the midst of these amazing, huge crystals that are surrounding you. Right? Some of these
Yeah.
crystals are giant amethysts.
Oh,
Unfortunately, we're not able to
yeah.
have in-person
Amazing.
events right now, but it's crazy. And so people listening to this right now, for one reason or the other, some of us might not be called to a mushroom journey right now because of multiple reasons. Right? It is a decision, and also it comes at the right time. And this might be a month from now, years from now as well. But the good thing is the breath work is always available to you. It does not have the same investment of emotions, thoughts, right? That decision process is a bit
Right.
easier. And once you finish the breathwork session, you can walk up and do your daily things during the day, which is why it makes a lot of sense if you have an extra $12. Now, if you know any workshops around, most of them are for a 2 hour workshop, they're more expensive.
Right.
But we're deciding to make it affordable to everyone so that you can join us to set boundaries and to breathe in beats and breathe in a group.
Yeah.
So it's $15, but $12 is early bird.
So Terry, I see you said you're ready for this experience. So send us a message, a DM, and we'll send you the link to join us.
Yeah, Marla is got this down pat, and I'm also really confident and really excited to help you because I've done so many of these workshops. I do one every week. I've done events for corporates. I've done one for the city of
Mhm.
Burnaby, which is in Vancouver. And we've got some workshops and events lined up in 2021 as well. And I've got this new track that I've tested a couple of times, but it's a shamanic track. And it's this
Mm.
beautiful track that has these amazing sounds in the background. And we're going to do a deep level breath work.
Mm.
That is a more advanced breath work, but I'll be guiding everyone through the process. But you're able to reach places that you probably would have never have imagined that you can access, but you can do it.
I'm so excited about it. All right, you
Cool.
guys.
So Maud says, AJ, your breathwork classes have absolutely been the vehicle to help me reconnect with ease and support to that mystical realm, right? It's priceless. Thank you both of you for your service. Marla, I look forward to checking out your page and learning more. This is Maud. So
Thanks,
Marla,
Mark.
again, what is your page?
Yeah,
So
go to
that
my website, marlamartenson.com, MarlaMartenson.com, and you can get you can get two free. I have guided meditations there, and you can find, I also have on every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, except for the 13th, I'm not doing it, but every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Pacific for only $10, I do a Marla's Magical Message Circle, and I limit it to 8 people. We join on Zoom. It's so wonderful. So I start off doing a little meditation with everybody. I send people energy work. And then I give a short teaching we do. And then I go around to each person and give them messages because I do tarot and channeling. So every single person gets a personalized message from the guides, and you can ask questions, and it's super fun. Usually lasts about an hour and a half. And I hope people will join me. We keep it small so everybody can get personalized messages and stuff.
cool.
So that's on
So,
my website. You can join that there at the website.
so who's joining us? Anyone already decided? Let us know in the
Yeah, who's
comments.
coming? Oh, thank you for posting that. That's so nice.
Who is
Yeah, that
coming?
sounds good.
Love it. Sounds wonderful,
Yay.
Marla. Cool.
Okay.
So Marla, any last words that you would like to
I'm just so
share?
excited to do this with you, AJ. It was a brilliant idea, boundaries and breathwork, or breathwork and boundaries. They're both so important, and I think once people get a taste of it, they're going to want to continue in doing that in their lives. And boundaries are needed so much, and especially since we're staying home. A lot of people are staying home more, working in the house with other people, or we've got to create boundaries for our lives now because we've had to restructure everything. All right, Terry's going to come. Yay.
And Rob also. Rob is on YouTube. Hey Rob, just send us an email if you'd like to book your ticket. Marla, what is your email address again?
It's Marla Martenson at mac.com, MAC. Marla Martenson, Martenson. Marla Martenson at mac.com.
Yeah, so it's really affordable, $12 per ticket. Usual price is 15, but right now it's
Mhm.
12. And let's come together, let's breathe together, and you will feel really, really amazing. Based on what I've discussed with Marla, that we're going to do during the workshop, you are going to feel great about it. Anybody else? Any other questions? We're going to jump off in a minute or two, but we'll just wait for any more questions, and if not, we will end this stream.
All right. Great to connect with everyone. Thanks, Terry and Rob and Maud.
Awesome. Thanks,
All
everybody.
right.
And I
Thanks.
hope you have a great day ahead. Thank
Bye.
you.